Hi, everyone. For the third day in a row, the stock market had what I would consider a wonderful intraday session. We started off the morning with a gap lower. Well, yeah, a gap lower, I guess, in most of the indexes. Following that gap lower, we sold off to right around 10 a.m. And then after that, we rallied throughout the day. We consolidated after the noon hour. And then at the end of the day, in the final 5 minutes, we went on a little rampy ramp move higher. And that allowed the NASDAQ to have a wonderful intraday reversal, only closing down 0.08%, and volume was above average. The big intraday reversal the past 3 days has come on well above average volume, and I have to admit, that's bullish. And while the volume's been above average overall the past 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 sessions, this cannot really be considered churning until we actually see a real distribution day where we're down over at least 1% on this index, because we've been moving higher, and all these higher volume sessions that we're seeing are coming with bullish intraday reversals. Look at all the open body candles in the last 5 sessions. 5 sessions above average volume, 5 open body sessions. And before that, we made moves off the lows to trade in tight price ranges. So overall, this has been very constructive action and is just extremely bullish, I would think, to me, especially looking at that white line at the bottom, the relative strength line. And speaking of that, you can look at the Russell 2000. The Russell 2000 was actually a very weak index today, down 0.5%. But look at that intraday tail today. Once again, rallied nicely off the lows. And the trend is as clearly up as can be. The only troublesome index is the Dow Jones Industrial Average. And just like in 1999, which is a funny way to reference this market, look at the relative strength line of the Dow Jones Industrial Average since April. Compare that, for instance, versus the NASDAQ. And boy, oh boy, I keep saying that this is the best looking market since 2003. That's true, but based on the trading in the Dow Jones Industrial Average and the NASDAQ, it's almost like it's in 1999. And I think it's not going to show it, but Burlington Stores was up 50% today as an IPO. You know, that's pretty interesting. So, interesting tape we have here, and I would have to continue to say it's bullish. On top of that, I only have 2 partial sells tonight, and to be honest with you, ABCB technically might not even be a sell in your book. However, a close below 1801 will be a completely full sell for me. But ABCB is having a heavier volume sell-off below the 50-day moving average on above average volume, like I said. So I'm going to go ahead and get rid of half of it, because the gain that we have from the date that we went long is less than 1%. So it doesn't matter here. I'm moving money out of the weak and trying to put it into the good. And then the other stock that I'm selling tonight is EVR. If EVR, let's say, has yellow BOP today instead of that red BOP, I probably don't sell any, because the 48.72 close is above a 48.25 low a day here. So this 48.25 is the low a day of this most recent base. It's not closing below that number, and it's not closing below the 50-day moving average, so it's above both the support lows and the 50-day moving average. No need to sell it technically. But with the increased volume and the red BOP, I could always see how this could get uglier, especially when I have stocks out there that are moving, like BITA, for instance, or MZOR. I got to do this off my head because I didn't bring my book over to my computer. GEOS, I remember today, did very well. NQ's moving higher today. So whenever we have stocks like that, THC was one, SNDK. I already did that one, I think, in my head. Oh my God. I can't remember. But whenever we go back and we just look at all of those that I just went through, when you get moves like that in individual stocks, I tell you what, whenever you have the weak one like that, you don't have to feel too guilty about selling it and moving into better positions. And that's why when we sold off Toyota Motors, half of our position yesterday, and TECUA and VNDA before, because they were weak, we can now move that money into our new long tonight, AEGR. AEGR is a biotech company that's got some pretty rapid sales growth recently. And with the big increase in mutual fund ownership and the stock being almost at par at 100, this move on the 50-day moving average looks like an excellent long to take. AEGR was going to be, breakout buy back here in September, but it's failed. But now it is making another move off the 50-day moving average, and I assume if it breaks out over to 100, we could see quite a large run in store. Okay, everybody, have a wonderful Thursday. I'll see you tomorrow.